What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the latest Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video the main topic will be Nabil Fekir, because reportedly, according to a French journalist, Lyon have made Nabil Fekir available for as little as 30 million euros, which is about like 25 million pounds, a year on from the collapse of his 53 million pounds transfer to Liverpool. And I think Liverpool are very smart playing the waiting game here, because I think there comes a price point where Nabil Fekir becomes an attractive proposition for Liverpool. Of course, because of his knee issues, Liverpool passed on the opportunity to sign Nabil Fekir for 53 million, but if he is available for 25 or even maybe 20 million in a couple of weeks time, Lyon might lower their asking price even more. Bilal Ghazi, who is a French journalist, said that he said that Lyon just want 30 million euros to sell Nabil Fekir this summer, and they are in a position where they have to sell Nabil Fekir right now. Nabil Fekir only has 1 year left on his contract. So my question to you guys is, do you want Nabil Fekir to be signed by Liverpool for like 25 million pounds, or should Liverpool be even braver and wait a couple of weeks and see if Lyon lower their asking price? Because at the moment there are no big clubs going in for Nabil Fekir really. Arsenal have been also linked with Nabil Fekir, but at the moment Nabil Fekir, it looks like, wants to play for a Champions League club, and he has been himself pretty disappointed with the Liverpool transfers falling through. It has been well documented that Fekir signed the contract. He even done TV interviews and posed for photos with the official club shirt. So imagine how heartbroken Nabil Fekir was after this. His dream Liverpool move fell through, and I think he's still holding out for a hope that Liverpool will come back for him. So guys, if you enjoy these types of transfer news videos, leave a like. It just takes a second for you guys to press that like button, and it really helps me out and shows me you guys enjoy these videos. So Lyon boss Genesio, who walked away from the club at the end of the season, this is what he said about Nabil Fekir, and I quote: "I think that Fekir was very frustrated with his cancelled transfer to Liverpool at the beginning of the season. He made the World Cup, he had some injuries, he certainly did not feel strong enough to take on the role of a leader, which he had done the previous season, relaying technical information on the pitch. Nabil Fekir is coming to the end of a cycle in Lyon. He has experienced a lot of things here. I think that he needs a new challenge to push his limits, to be self-critical, because we know we always need a personal challenge in a career and to ask questions of ourselves." And Liverpool legend Neil Mellor claimed that Jurgen Klopp shouldn't be really signing Nabil Fekir because, according to Neil Mellor, Liverpool need to reinforce the squad elsewhere. This is what Neil Mellor, the former Liverpool player, said, and I quote: Nabil Fekir has done very well for Lyon. He scored an important goal for them to progress through the Champions League group stages this season. He's an attacking midfield player who contributes goals. There wasn't too much pressure on the midfield to score goals last season because the Liverpool front three scored so many again. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is perhaps that player when fit who can get goals from midfield. Just my comment, Naby Keita is another one who can get goals from midfield, but I would still like Liverpool to sign type of player who could score even more goals from midfield. Somebody like Coutinho, Bruno Fernandes, or even Nabil Fekir. And Neil Mellor continued: "There is no doubt Nabil Fekir has the quality, but it's whether he can come into what is already a very competitive area within the Liverpool squad." What I would say is that Moreno and Sturridge leaving Liverpool means more coverage needed in those positions. A left fullback for Andy Robertson, who has been outstanding, and perhaps he may look at depth with Daniel Sturridge leaving as a striker. 1 to 11, Liverpool are outstanding, there's no doubt about that. There's more to come from Naby Keita, Lallana, Oxlade-Chamberlain in those midfield positions. Fabinho has settled in. You look at Liverpool's squad and it is really strong, and I don't think Jurgen will dip into the market unless he thinks someone could add even more quality. But Liverpool are in a position where they can attract pretty much any player in the market because of how they have performed. They are now in a position to compete for the top trophies in the game. When you look at the homecoming for the Champions League, there were 1 million fans in the streets, which shows the support for the club. I think players around the world would have seen that and want to be a part of that if they are lucky enough to be selected by the recruitment team of Jurgen Klopp. So this is a very good point, but I still think that if Naby Fekir is available for like 25 million, that's not a lot of money for a player who could easily score 10-15 goals for Liverpool. Remember that this season he scored 12 goals and got like 11 assists, so it hasn't been like an outstanding season for Naby Fekir, but mainly he was very distraught at the end of the summer because the dream Liverpool transfer didn't happen, and he took a little bit of time to again pick up his form. And also Neymar is right, Naby Fekir wasn't a type of leader at Lyon. He knew that at the end of the season he is leaving anyway. But I think he can replicate his form of last season, where he scored 23 goals for Lyon. And I think Liverpool, for a cut price deal of like 20-25 million pounds, I think it's worth a gamble. I mean, even if Naby Fekir gets some injuries here and there, even if he just can play on average like 30 games for Liverpool a season, he could still score easily 10 goals for Liverpool from midfield. And he is a very, very good, very creative player. He can shoot free kicks from incredible distances. He has a long range shot on him. He has the dribbling skills, the close control, the ability to beat a man. And also he has the vision to pick out Salah, Mane or Firmino up front. So I think for 25 million, as I said, it's a much better deal and a much less risky deal than signing Fekir for 53 million last summer. The big question is, does Jurgen Klopp think so, or does he think that Liverpool should go into the next season with the midfield options that we have? Because we already have some goal-scoring midfielders in the team, like Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita. It's just a matter of keeping them fit and available for pretty much every game and hoping that they can contribute and play and score goals. And Lyon's chief executive Juninho, who used to be a Lyon player of course, and he was the free kick maestro at Lyon many years ago, this is what he said about Naby Fekir. I would love Fekir to stay. He's a great player, he has a lot of talent. We will see what happens. I am a fan of his talent. We will meet him tomorrow. So of course the Lyon chief wants to keep one of Lyon's best players at the club, but Lyon's hands are tied because, as I said, they have to sell Fekir right now, otherwise they will lose him for absolutely nothing. And maybe Liverpool are playing the waiting game, and maybe behind the scenes they said to Fekir, maybe run down your contract at Lyon and we will sign you on a free transfer 1 year from now. And that would be the most like low risk transfer that Liverpool can do because of Fekir's knee injury. It would be absolutely no risk to sign Fekir on a free transfer. And yes, he would command reasonably high wages, but I think the maximum is like 70-80k weekly wages, which is not an incredibly high amount. It wouldn't put Fekir into the top earners at Liverpool. So I think signing Fekir on a free transfer next summer could be another option for Liverpool. We shall wait and see. John Barnes, the Liverpool hero, Liverpool legend, said about Fekir, and I quote, "Yes, Fekir would be a good addition to the squad, but it's going to be difficult to get into the front three. If you look at the way Xherdan Shaqiri played, he could feature as one of the midfield three as well. It's always good to have quality to help the squad, but it's pure speculation until it happens. I don't necessarily feel that Liverpool are desperate to sign anybody because of the squad they have, and with two new players coming back in terms of Oxlade-Chamberlain and Joe Gomez, who didn't feature last year. We still have Adam Lallana. It could be good for the squad, but I don't think we are desperate to sign Nabil Fekir. I still feel that Liverpool need to strengthen the team. And according to Liverpool newspaper Liverpool Echo, Liverpool will not allow Divock Origi to leave the club this summer. Origi scored some vital goals, and Liverpool are positive about Origi signing a new contract this summer after holding talks with Origi's representatives. But even if a deal can't be reached and Origi doesn't sign a contract extension, Klopp is prepared to reject any transfer moves for Origi and keep him at the club. Then we could lose Origi for absolutely nothing. But I think this is a good strategy, because even if Origi runs down his contract, we could still negotiate a contract with Origi during next season and play him in more games, and that could, you know, give Origi the motivation to sign a new contract at Liverpool. I definitely think that we shouldn't sell Origi right now, because to replace both Sturridge and Origi in one summer would be difficult for Liverpool, and I don't think we should do that. Liverpool are not planning to sell Dejan Lovren. Lovren, who is worth about £25 million according to Liverpool, was a transfer target for AC Milan, but Liverpool have reportedly not even put a price tag on the 29-year-old, and Liverpool just said that they don't want to sell Lovren, even though he only made 15 appearances in the season. Even some Liverpool fans think that it would be very difficult, and I agree with this, to replace Lovren for the price that we get from AC Milan. And even if Dejan Lovren is not considered a starter for Jurgen Klopp, he is still a valuable member of the squad, because if Matip or Joe Gomez get injured, Lovren can come in without the centre-back quality dropping massively. And alongside Virgil van Dijk, he was, for the most part of the season, a very reliable performer, and it would be difficult to replace someone of that quality for the money and that Liverpool are reportedly prepared to accept. It would be difficult to use that 25 million to sign a player who is as good as Lovren, as experienced as Lovren, and as used to the Premier League as Lovren is. It's pretty much nigh on impossible. So I think maybe it's better that we keep Lovren for 1 or 2 seasons and ease Van den Berg, the new signing, and Joe Gomez into the role, give them more playing time, give them more experiences, and also train them behind the scenes to get used to the Liverpool playing style. And then in 1 or 2 years we could let Lovren go. By then we could have Van Dijk, Matip and Joe Gomez ready replacements, plus Van den Berg could become the player who fulfills his potential, and he could become one day hopefully as good or even better than Dejan Lovren. So I don't think Liverpool have massive concerns in the centre-back department, especially now that we signed for one for the future in Van den Berg. And Rangers' move for Ryan Kent could be delayed, with Liverpool set to give some of their star players some well-needed time off. Roberto Firmino will be definitely handed an extra 3-week break after the Copa America finale, which is in a few days. And the Liverpool Echo report that they already told Firmino and Alisson that they won't need to link up with the Liverpool squad until the end of July. So that gives them about a week or 10 days to prepare for the Premier League season, which is going to be a tough schedule. And if the same privilege is afforded to Mane and Salah, who are at the FA Cup of Nations, they could miss the first league game against Norwich, they could miss the Community Shield final against Man City, and that could be a huge blow for Steven Gerrard and his Rangers, because they are planning to loan Rangers in, but Liverpool don't really want to let Ryan Kent go, because we probably need him, especially at the beginning of the season. I think at Scotland, but correct me if I'm wrong, they don't have to close the transfer window by the time the Premier League, Scottish Premier League starts. So Liverpool can still sell players after the Premier League starts, we just can't sign any players. So what we could do is keep Ryan Kent for the first like 2 or 3 weeks of the season, and then either sell Ryan Kent or loan Ryan Kent to Rangers when, by the time Mane, Salah and Firmino come back. We should do the same with Harry Wilson as well. We should keep Harry Wilson until the beginning of the season, and then I'm not sure if that's allowed, but maybe loan him out to another Championship club, to a fellow Premier League club. I think in the Championship the rule is as well that you can't sign any players after the first league game of the season. So even though Rangers are desperate to get Ryan Kent back because he was a major player for Rangers, he was one of their top scorers and most important players, but I think Liverpool's needs and wants are of course a priority. Steven Gerrard himself said that the ball is in Liverpool's court, in Liverpool's half, because Ryan Kent is a Liverpool player and Rangers know that their hands are tied. They basically will try to sign Ryan Kent on loan, but if Liverpool decide that they need Ryan Kent at the beginning of the season, then they can't really do anything. And Neil Critchley, who is the manager of the Liverpool under-23 side, said that some of Liverpool's next younger prospects are ready for the first team duty for next season if Jurgen Klopp needs them. This is what he said, and I quote, "We try to follow their program as much as possible with the training times, the amount of training they do. That's what we are preparing our boys for, the next step. Maybe some of our players will get the opportunity to go to Melwood and train. If we are not working closely to how they work in terms of the loading and the training, then we are setting our boys up to fail. The boys look after themselves during the summer, so you can get the footballs out pretty quickly and get into the games pretty quickly. They are all going to get an opportunity to play. With the under-23s, the nature of the group that we've got, they will all have different types of ambitions and goals, and managing that is my job. But with the group we've got this season, I'm looking forward to working with the players." And at the Liverpool Academy, the hope is that the likes of Curtis Jones, Adam Lewis, Kiana Hoover, who is also a Dutch centre-back, Isaac Christie-Davies, can really like knuckle down and using the same tactical ideas, playing style of the first team, and push for promotion to Melwood in their careers. And in the League Cup, in the FA Cup, these youngsters could get some significant playing time. So I really hope that the draw will be kind to us in both competitions, especially in the League Cup. I think we went out very early last season because we got Chelsea and Eden Hazard knocked us out. But I think the Liverpool youngsters can certainly get a lot more playing time if we get a kind of draw, and hopefully we will. And I really want Liverpool to win a domestic trophy, either the FA Cup or the League Cup. It doesn't matter. We should be aiming to win as many trophies as possible. And I think now Liverpool's second team, or even Liverpool's third team and youth team, should be good enough to knock out most of the League 1 and League 2 sides, and maybe half of the Championship sides as well. So if you sprinkle a few first team players in there, then Liverpool certainly will have a good chance of getting far in the League Cup and the FA Cup, and I really hope that is the case. Joe Gomes actually said in an interview that he would have liked to be a PE teacher. That's actually very interesting to me. This is what Gomes said in an interview. "PE was my favorite subject in school. I wasn't bad in school, but I wasn't the smartest. So I think it was the time that I could just enjoy myself and purely have fun. I think that fun and enjoyment is the main thing in school. If I wasn't a footballer, I would have liked to be a PE teacher. I knew that I couldn't let my school affect my football by behaving badly and getting detention and all that sort of thing. So I made sure my homework was done." Obviously at that age your parents emphasize that it's important that you do well in school, otherwise they might take away your hobby. It's really important, not just for the health benefits, but just for having fun. Psychologically, it's important that children get a chance to express themselves, and sometimes PE is the best way to do that. I found my talents in PE and it gave me a chance to have fun and enjoy time with my friends, and so it's definitely important. For the maybe the non-English speaking audience, that's physical education. That's like the physical classes in a school where you do all kinds of physical activities. And Joe Gomes added, you need to have basic coordination, but having the confidence in yourself from that age that you can do certain skills is the main thing that helps you when you get older. I loved sports day and all the races, so athletics, running were all my favorite other sports, but football is not an individual sport, and if there is no chemistry within the team, regardless of what talent you have, then you are not really going to succeed. I think that shows within the team where you have got a good bond, you will all play for each other, play for the manager, play for the supporters. I think it's important that you are all one, not just within the team, but within the community and the supporters as well. It's important that we live our lives the right way, not only for the performance, but to be role models. I think it's important that we do our best to lead an example for the younger generation, for any kids that want to achieve a dream. I think you have just got to ask yourself, is it something you enjoy? This is the fundamental aspect. If you don't enjoy it, then you are not going to put that extra effort in to be the best that you can. What a brilliant interview by Joe Gomes, and it's good to just listen to him and get an insight into what he would do if he wasn't a professional footballer. But of course, Joe Gomes is one of the biggest talents in English football right now that we know, and if he can stay fit, I think he can become great at Liverpool, because learning from Van Dijk and Matip and Lovren, Joe Gomes will improve tenfold next season. So I really hope that he can stay injury free, because I think then the future is very, very bright for Joe Gomes. But it was good to see an insight into how he is thinking and his attitude, and I think we can learn a lot from him. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.